Hello, welcome to Toys Are Evil. Today I'm going to take a look at a flip through of my issue 1.5 of I Like Toys. And for these purposes, for all those that are tuning in, hello. I would request that you tilt your phone to the side because I will be reviewing a flip through or going through this in a landscape format, this direction. Cool. But before that, have a look at the cover and the little Toys Are Evil production. This was a self-published zine. I'll call it zine because it's predominantly, my choice was predominantly photosetted, Xeroxed. And I wanted to keep it that way, the spirit of the early Big O magazines, where it's literally self-publications. So what I did back then was, after formatting the layouts, went to a local convenience store to Xerox, to photostat. This was in 2000. This was published in 2012 and released at STGCC, Singapore Toy Games and Comic Con. This is issue 1.5. Issue 1 was released in 2010, before my stroke in 2010, when I was in Thailand. That was also self-published. I mean, I love the self-publishing game, like fanzines in general. And back then was 5 cents per page. And I printed 2 sides. And I printed A4 2 sides with the aim to fold and staple. Yeah, I wanted to stick to A4 size. Apologies for the truck that's leaving. And it was 5 cents then, but now things have changed. 12 years later, it's 20 cents per page. So 25 cents per page, if I'm doing 2 sides, it's 40 cents per page. And it's something I could not really afford. Even after this was a bridge between issue 1 and issue 2. But at that point in time in my life, I really couldn't afford to do anything. And also my hard drive crashed. So anyway, long story short, I managed to find this yesterday as I was packing my stuff. And I was quite amazed that I still had a full copy left. And this was how it was. It was how I packed it, sealed. I sold this at the STGCC when I had a Toys Are Evil booth. And I added some stuff. And there might be some surprises inside as well. I won't know. I'm not sure what's inside. I know what I gave out, but I wasn't sure what's inside this pack. So what I'll do now, oh my gosh, I will open this up and share with you the pages. And I'll share with you the reason why all these years I've not shared the pages. First, I'll take a look at what was inside the pouch. So what I did was, during my still .NET, now no longer .NET, no more already, at booth F51. So what I did was, during this time, I released a series of limited edition toys with different artists around the world. So included Yokozuna. With Quicks, he created 10 limited edition customs from the Yoka figure with 1 chase here. And it wasn't available as blind box. It was open, so folks could choose the chase if they wanted to. And this was one of the figures that I regretted to a certain degree that I did not keep for myself. Everything was gone pretty quick. And this, in actual fact, is a fold-out catalog. It's something which I've always wanted to do. I've always loved catalogs in toys, like Playmobil and stuff like that. So I wanted to do a fold-out catalog. In the end, is the expense spent in doing all these basically was, was a hefty cost. But anyway, no regrets. Past is gone is gone. Money is spent. But these were at least the 9 exclusive Toys Are Evil toys that I made available at my booth at STGCC 2012. So include Bevel and Sushi Kaiju from Porsche, Jellybot from the Jelly Empire. We did a resin, so we did a tag and attached to it. Crawdad Kid from Daniel Yu. This is rock and roll. This is from my OMFG, from his OMFG minifigure series. wonderful tuts with Argonaut raisins. These were giant tuts, by the way. I mentioned before, Yokozuna. Turtle Tetsujin. I think I have only one piece left in my collection. That's for sale. So Peter Kato created his Turtle Tetsujin with my TOYSREVIL logo here in the center. There's a story behind this. I'll go to depth much later. Vapor Noodler Dragon. This is sort of pseudo bobblehead by Pierre Rosier. Nice. Mini Kaiju by Max Toy Co. So he did hand rub treatment for a series of his mini kaiju figures, which I adored, picked up really quick as well. And also DD, early cream puff pastry toy from Ume Toys. So yeah, this was the fold out catalog that came with each copy of I Like Toys. Yeah, now back to the main zine itself. So what I did was I had chosen color paper for the front. For the covers, there's orange and there is red. So basically these are accessible. The trick is to convince my local convenience store to let me, or to allow me to Xerox two sides. I'm amazed that I couldn't get pretty good blacks. Need to find out when they are newly stocked and not like, certain photo set might come out a bit gray, tinted gray, because the ink is running out, or they didn't put 100% printing, not 100% printing powder. What's the word for it? They did not increase the intensity. So through a bit of trial and error, trial runs anyway, I requested, could they give me solid blacks? There was an additional cost then, so which is good. I was on good terms with them, so it's all good. So I'm amazed that it is solid black, and I really enjoyed this. So this is the cover. I'll see this the last because I have typo already. Oh my gosh. So this is the cover. This is done by Zero Cool. What I did was, for in explanation, right, for the second issue, which has not been published, was I wanted to do a superhero versus supervillains issue. So I requested for folks to send in their superheroes or villains, and I asked specific artists to interpret them in their way. So to draw it like a superhero style. So this was not necessarily meant to be a cover, but it became a cover by Zero Cool. Rock and roll, man. And I printed a whole bunch of stickers to indicate the STGCC edition, to use on not just magazine, but certain items that I had for sale. I wanted to do the STGCC edition sticker. And the main reason I did not put a date to it, because I could reuse it. But when Singapore Toy Games and Comic Con rebranded to Singapore Comic Con, I couldn't use them anymore. Even if I wanted to, not that I could afford a booth, but even if I wanted to do a booth later on, couldn't afford lah. Anyway, coming back, just to let folks know that are tuning in, moving forward, this will just be me rambling about the magazine, the zine that I made, some behind the scenes stories, and I'll just ramble on. It's a very decent, nicely Friday outside. Rain has stopped the morning. Pretty cool. So yeah, bear with me. Let's have a look. You can see a page. Probably I'll try to do still pictures lah, and add to my blog or Instagram. I don't draw because I think I'm good at it. I draw because it makes me feel good. Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff. What I liked about this fanzines is also very, I won't say it's self-indulgent is the word, because I wanted to be able to doodle on it. Like, for example, like this, stuff like this, because it reflects me back in my school days, where I, instead of reading the textbook, I would sketch at the corners. There's something that, good or bad, it has happened, so I can say it now, but it's hilarious. So I wanted to be able to doodle all over the place. Anyway, coming back to page look, so pages content, somehow I'm always stuck because I'm not doing any ads. The theory was I wanted to do ads for issue 2. So prominent pages like the first page or dedicated pages would be ads. So this would be an ad page for this, but for this purposes of this issue, I did like a pages content lah, because I also wanted to keep the page count not as high as I did. So even when I staple it, it is not as how should I put it? It is not as uneven as it was in the first issue, right? Because no matter how I fold, I do not necessarily cut or trim down to make a solid flat surface. So it wasn't necessarily as thick as I actually want to do lah. Hope I'm making sense. I'm just rambling on. Anyway, these are just text. Ramble. As fanzine forward. Yeah, I'm a rambler lah. I always tell myself to keep my words short, but I can't. So yeah, I can't. So text. Cover is illustrated by Zero Cool. And I credited the characters created by the original creators like Tasha Z. Nice. Yeah, that's the main thing which I wanted to do. Well, it's an old-ish logo without the colored in R. So to me, a lot of these are capsules of times past as well. Page 2, I said it my way. Team awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of the text I wouldn't necessarily show. You might not see, but you can see one of the reasons I wanted to doodle in the pages. I don't know if this affects the readers, how they view it. I have not necessarily had feedback. So as I said, it is self-indulgent because I just wanted to do that. Team awesome. I had to come up with names. Team awesome. So these are the characters created by submission, my reader's submission, and these I think I drew myself instead of someone else. So I drew my interpretation of this. I mean, I'm torn in the situation where I want to. I cannot really get it together to print my issue 2. I hope to one day, but before that happens, I wanted to do a digital copy, at least show the drawings and sketches that folks do. But I'm still thinking about it. I have been thinking about it for a while because these are pretty old. 2012, 2011. So it's like 13 years old. So I haven't contacted the originators or the creators of the characters whether or not they allow me to show it now, or will it affect what they think about their characters being seen. So yeah, I need to sort this out somewhere somehow to share. Like this League of Diadem. These are also characters from submitted characters. The names are all credited, and I think I drew this myself. So my interpretation of it, fun lah. Looking at all these again, it is memories that I enjoy as well. It's so funny. I said this. TOYSREVIL is not TRE, but most people calls it that. But now I've opted TRE as the name of the TOYSREVIL mascot. So this dude is actually TRE, pronounced Trey, Trey, but with a silent Y. So yeah, at the end I've adopted him, the name Trey, as the name of the mascot. I hope to be able to find my issue 1 copy, and I'll do a comparison. Certain things are remain the same, but certain things are not, or even like typography, fonts chosen, or even layout is slightly different. I'm torn with this layout because it looks very neat, and I didn't really want something that is neat, but because my plan was to have irregular shaped drawings, right? Then everything else I'd have to do a balance. So instead of everything neat, square, laid out, I have a mixture of laid out text and drawings that I can like scatter. Does it make sense? Sorry, I'm not publication trained. I'm not print trained. I'm trained in interior design, and I've been doing TV design, TV and film design for the past over a decade. So this is not my forte in terms of print, or publication, but it's always been something I really wanted to do, and it's something that I really want to do moving forward with my life. But I need to capture that back lah. Another set, Millennium Misfits. Yes, I named these dudes lah, but these are all. Did I draw this? Yeah, I think I drew this. Different characters: Beast of War, Shinigami for Nano Banji. So yeah, I really want to showcase, but once I check with everybody, are they comfortable with me showing their character designs? This was from issue 1. Dico, Gabriel Tiongson, his interview for issue 1, and I reprinted here in issue 1.5. This is in his version of Venom. Nice lah, bro. What is this? Yeah, this is the remainder of the interview. What is this update? This interview, yes, was issued, first published in issue 1. His first toy, Squidward, is currently in final stages. It was released during this time, actually. And yeah, I actually released a limited edition print with him. If I can find it, I'll show you the final result, which I liked. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily picked up. It's just me indulging in like this illusion that I can sell prints, that my art will be accepted by folks. It's hilarious. The amount of arrogance in my brain. Page 10, calling all villains and heroes. So in this, there was a context where I did an open call on the blog for heroes and villains. These were the context that folks submitted, but unfortunately, with my lack of organization skills, it did not manifest as quick as it did, except for the drawings that were done, that I asked folks to illustrate for, and I drew myself. Like these were all characters from submissions recreated by selected artists, which I bugged, and I always feel bad because I didn't have a chance to showcase them, and which again, moving forward, I'll try to. So these were all submitted. Nice, exactly here. Super villains, superheroes. Nice. Cover work. There were actually 4 covers. This is one of the covers. There were other covers here. One is by Brazil. One is by Judy Rudy. One is by Jonathan Leong Zero Cool. And Eric Nocella Diaz from Argonauts Raisin. So there were essentially 4 covers that folks could choose. I think I had limited this to 30 issues for sale, but I think in actual fact I had only 15 to 20 copies for sale at the event to help fund all this. And I think this is the last copy that was not sold actually. So yeah, I need to find out. Yeah, what I did not do, I realized, or even if I did, I need to find my hard drive or copies. Then I put all 4 covers together and took a picture. So it's a bit of waste. I have only 1 left from Zero Cool here, and I need to find the art for the other 3. Coming in issue 2, this was something that was planned for. His interview with Quicks. And this is what he did. He did a group art a la George Perez style of all the characters that were submitted. This was printed out in A3 size, black and white, to give away free posters during 2012. So this is a small version. Initially, I wanted to include in the page. I'm not sure if I did. We'll see later. Where it's Quick's illustration art. Back in the day, bro. Back in the day. And this is something that I blogged about on my blog, where finally I found this page because I couldn't find the art. Where let me show you. I'm rambling, I'm stuttering, but I think it's easier if I showed photos of it lah. So remember this figure he did for me, Turtle Tetsujin, and it came with a header card. I don't have the header card right now. It came with a header card, and the header card is an image. It's an image that actually is a continuation of this image, or essentially this image. So there is a short little story that we cooked up of the unit getting prepared to jump off the flying transport, and before they jumped out, then that was the end result, so-called, was the action. There was the raisin figure that he handmade, and the header cut was the result of this. Because I wanted to do like a connection between comic and toy. Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe easier if I show actual images. So this was it. This is drawn by Peter. I miss his toy art and his art though. artist feature, Daniel Yu. This was also in issue 1, printed in 2010, so literally it's 14 years ago. Interview with Daniel Yu 14 years ago, where his predominant designs which lured me in was his Playmobil customs. So this was one of his, I think, his Saikang Warriors, Playmobil customs. Then subsequently when he sculpted his own character creations that everybody loves now. So this was the republication of his interview I had with him. And this was my interview with the Yellow Dino versus Ants. Ants just released his Yoka and also Thunder Ape mini G robot with Ed Funcher, whereas Yellow Dino released his mini Dino with my Tummy Toys. I had versions of this for sale at 2000 at my 2012 booth, but it was released before that, so it was on display as well. So I interviewed them because they're both street artists, and I want to see the both of them having their point of views as well, because Yellow Dino is from Indonesia, Ants is from Singapore. So this was also a way to get to know the artists, obviously. Duh. Yeah, and this was Ants' toy that was released with my Tummy Toys. No, it was based on a toy released with my Tummy Toys resin, but also as a limited edition print, which I made available at the booth as well. Yeah, this is a black and white sketch of my first ever. I've always wanted to be published in a comic book. That was my first dream in the first place. But I realized I only was able to manifest that dream through a printed page in Max Toy Co's Lady Max magazine, comic book. So this is the black and white version, uncolored version. Yeah, I'm proud. Self-indulgent, so be it. I like Toys Resin. This was one of my most proud article I wrote for Resin Toys that I published in full in my blog, and I've always wanted this to be a trilogy. I had 2 other articles planned, but I've never followed up, because shortly after this, when Resin was like a new thing, it essentially just exploded and became much what's the word for it? Much revered material, I feel, and also accessible material to make toys. And it in a way, I've always wanted to make toys myself. Of course, when I blog about toys, I also want to make my own toys. But I did not embrace resin as I did vinyl or urban vinyl back in the day. But when I wanted to embrace resin, it was a bit too late. Long story short, my first ever Toys Are Evil official toy was going to be sculpted by my late dad, and it was to be done in resin. But he passed on, and I've never captured my passion. The passion never returned as heavily as it was before. And this was also before 3D printing, or just at the cusp of 3D printing. So now, if ever I do anything, it's actually achievable. I just need to be able to afford the resources, but it's achievable. Having said that, and that would constitute part 2 and 3 lah. But maybe I'll find the time to do it again. I don't know. At this point in time, I was more entrenched. I was also collecting more actively. So the point of view was clearer. But now, maybe not as deep as I would like it to be. And I also don't want to do really a puff piece. But anyway, yeah, remember this lineup. I did a photo of this lineup and made it into a poster on display at the Clear 2010 in Thailand. So all these were on display as well. Joey Digimwings by the late Marin Lamhani, my Tummy Toys. Racing Toys, yeah. Another group, Horde of Diadem Villains. These are all from submitted characters from folks. I remember this. This is Breen's Boxed Up Boxer. Boxer Boxer? Spelling wrong, huh? Anyway. Beat Up Boxer. Sorry, bro. Breen's Beat Up Boxer. Anyway. And that's it. Do you like toys? Yeah, do you like toys? And this was something else. zombie pageant. It was like an online art, not necessarily contest, where folks send in customs of their zombie customs. Okay? Customs of their zombie, or subsequently illustrations as well. So it's like beauty pageants where you have a runway where people walk through, and beauty pageants from Miss Singapore, Miss Chinatown. So I wanted to do a zombie one. I think it's fun, but I think I was the only one who thought it was fun. Zombie pageant 1 came and went. It was fun and successful, but subsequently folks stopped sending in stuff to the TOYSREVIL blog, and that's why in the subsequent years, after 2010, 2011, less contributions from folks. So then I stopped doing any of all these submissions from the public, unfortunately. And that's it. This is the page, or rather this is the book. Have a quick look through at this. The blog is no longer .net. I have lost that domain and I've not re-registered it. The blogspot still remain. Facebook.org, I've also not renewed the domain name. Yes, I will dedicate URL, no longer here. Twitter has now changed to X, obviously, but this is still relevant. Tumblr, never touch. Big Cartel, still here. TOYSREVIL at .net, again, lost the name. Flavors, I totally forgot Flavors. It's like Linktree. I like Toys Blogspot, wrong spelling, typo lah, bro. I totally forgot about this blog. Facebook still exists, but I've not maintained it. This will definitely go into the Facebook. Also a Tumblr. Oh my god, you can see from here, 2012, that era, there's no Instagram. Instagram wasn't something that was high at all on my necessities. Even no pin interest as well. So this was again a snapshot of the 2012 era. Note that this publication is a self-initiated project and meant as a promotional tool for both my blog and myself as a writer, not shy to say a writer. This STGCC edition is limited to 30 copies available at STGCC 2012. So I was also torn because I wanted this to be only available at STGCC, and I did not, or maybe I did put available online, but I think ran out of it and I didn't want to list anymore. I remembered I mentioned here 30 copies, so maybe I printed 15 to 20. So in theory, there's another 10 copies more. So the logic was that 10 copies, I'll print them. And basically all these were like DIY lah. A4 size paper, both sides, 4 in half, and I staple. Even the staple is gone grey, gone rusty. So 4 in half staple and just publish like that, put in a sleeve, and that's the plan. So initially maybe about 10 copies or 5 copies I'll sell online to be able to fund all this, because all these are self-funded. No ads. I wanted to put ads, but probably that would be in issue 2, or the plan was issue 2 that was never published. But anyway, so yeah, now that you have seen my issue 1.5 for I Like Toys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope everything runs smooth, so I've not checked if the recording is smooth, but I hope this recording is smooth, and if possible I will download this and put on my YouTube and maybe on my reels as well, so for folks to watch lah on a rainy Friday afternoon. And that's it. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll end this stream. Have a good weekend ahead. Bye bye.